For Asmodeus cohabitating with his ex-girlfriend and her children, it must be really weird because you have to pay attention to the behavior and the mannerisms and the tone of everyone. And then when things seem to be off, you have to start thinking about what is it that they know. I know it's something that I obviously did, but which woman is it that they found out about? Who contacted who? Anyway, yeah, he was showing like just receipts for random shit. Like apparently he was starting a new job and he had to go get drug tested, so he was like, he had the phone call with his new employer on speakerphone so the ex-girlfriend could hear it, and then like he was showing her the lab slip and all that. You did all of that shit because you felt as though you wanted her to trust you while knowing that I'm pregnant and due in November and that she can't fucking trust you. And the one thing that I will always go back to, it's just my opinion from the outside looking in. I wasn't in this situation the way that the ex-girlfriend was in this situation. But what the fuck is the point of you showing me text messages, emails, receipts, phone calls, and all that shit when you still have a damn lock on your closet? Until you were able to take that fucking lock off your closet, I would never trust a fucking thing that you ever had to say. That lock on your closet represents you are always probably going to be a cheater, unfortunately. Like, you have an illness. Asmodeus has an illness. And unfortunately, it's not even just sex. The necessary desperate need to fill a void. Like, it's not just sex. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that are fucking wrong. And I just don't particularly think that when it comes to my son, that now or probably ever would be an appropriate time to even, like, put the responsibility on him to be someone that he's not for my son. That's not a game I'm willing to play. Not at all. Like, that man needs to go be fucking evaluated. He needs a life coach. He needs to be seeing a shrink. He might need to be medicated, but something is definitely very, very wrong. And when I say all of this, it doesn't mean at all that I'm not going to hold that man accountable, because fuck Asmodeus. I still feel the way that I feel. And I know that he's very, very much threatened by me. He may have not been then, but when we were in our relationship together, the demands of who I needed to be when I needed to be that were different than right now. When we were together in our relationship, I was his girl. Now, I'm my son's mother. We're totally different. Now, you get to see what I do to people that fuck with my kids. There's a fucking reason. God rest Jeff's soul. That's my eldest son's father. God rest his soul. But he's gone. He passed. And Joshua's father, the man is on suicide watch. And he's now being medically treated and seeing a professional. And he said the reason that he wanted to end his life was because he never got over me, but proceeded to give up his rights to his son when he was 2, come back when he was 3 and asked for them back, and the judge just gave them back, and he hadn't seen him for 8 years straight. And he only got to see him twice in 2024. And it was supervised. And then the man disappeared again. And now he's trying to hop off the nearest fucking bridge, saying that it all comes back to the fact that we're not together. Like, how do you believe that there are no repercussions for the things that you do to people? August 16th, it was, I want to say evening. It was like the evening. It was either late afternoon or evening, and I got a text message. And this was, I want to say maybe like 3 weeks after I had last spoken to the ex-girlfriend and the daughter. I got a text message directly to my phone from the daughter. And she put her name in it, and that's how I know that it was her. And I remember her name from, my DMs when she spoke to me. And she said something to the extent of, could you talk right now? I need to ask you a really big favor. Something like that. But when I got this text message, this was following me getting this cease and desist in the mail. So I didn't respond and I didn't call because I didn't know what to make of it. Because still to this very moment, still to this very day, I have no idea who else was behind that cease and desist. I still have no idea. And the only reason why I have said that the ex-girlfriend may have been involved is because sometimes people just go back. They wouldn't have gotten this far. There wouldn't be a second baby with that man if people didn't change their minds. And I'm well aware that that happens and can happen. See, I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. Sometimes it's just damage control. Sometimes they're trying to salvage whatever is left. Sometimes they're just like, ultimately, like, we're financially stuck together and we can't really afford to separate. Sometimes people work their shit out. And I wouldn't have had no hard feelings whatsoever. I would actually just felt bad for all the kids at that point. All of them. All of them. The way that Asmodeus has treated his ex-girlfriend has so much to do with the way that her daughters see men now. But because I didn't know who the hell was really behind it besides Asmodeus, even though that cease and desist, you know why it didn't work? Because I didn't do anything illegal. You know why it didn't work? Because I can combat everything. You know why it didn't work? Because I got all my damn receipts. You know why it didn't work? Is because they contacted me. So, that being said, just because those are the facts does not mean that there is not a woman on this earth that will still stand right beside a piece of shit man and have that shit sent to me regardless. And the whole point of it is to intimidate you. I am a whole lot fucking smarter than I let people believe. I don't have to use my intelligence in every single circumstance because then people think that I'm a smartass. So I'm sorry if you thought I was dumb and I was just playing stupid so you could feel smarter. That was annoying. That was annoying for me, and that happened in our relationship quite often. I had to pretend to be dumb. I had to pretend to be dumb and not know certain things so Asmodeus could actually seem intelligent. I had to pretend that I couldn't open things or reach things or access things and I didn't know how to do certain things just so he could be productive and he would have fucking things to actually do to add to my life, even though I had to plan them so he would feel significant. Jesus Christ, that was a bitch. That was quite the fuck annoying. But seeing as I didn't know who the hell was involved and I didn't know where everyone stood, and because the last time that I had heard from the ex-girlfriend was her telling me not to speak to her daughter anymore, that's her daughter and she still lives there under that roof more than likely, I was just like, I'm not about to sit up here and get caught in some nonsense and somehow you guys find a way to drag me to court somehow. I'm not tech savvy. I know that he's very, very tech savvy and I just can't touch this. So if the daughter ever sees this video, I'm sorry. The reason why I didn't respond was not because of anything that you did or you said, but Asmodeus sent me a cease and desist. Your mom asked me not to speak to you anymore. So I was trying to be respectful of your mom's wishes, but I also couldn't trust the situation at that point as well.